So I went to NC State for mechanical engineering. I got my bachelor's and my master's. The career that I have found myself in is an HVAC design engineer for buildings, subset of mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineer, subset of the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. So I know buildings, I know design. That's one of the things that I hope to bring to the council is really a design-oriented, systems-oriented thinking, right? With HVAC systems, most people don't really think about it. They think about the unit that they have outside, but really, these are systems, right? If you start messing with one aspect of the system over here, it's going to impact other aspects of the system, right? If we start, building apartments in, unplanned areas, right? Well, that's going to increase the traffic in town, the vehicle volume, right? And if we're not accounting for that, right, then NCDOT is going to see those numbers. There's some major NCDOT corridors that run through Morrisville. They're going to see that, and they're going to, they're going to think that we need to widen the roads, right? It's like, well, we made the decision to implement those, implement those changes in town. Right? If we widen roads, we make it less safe for pedestrians, we remove our tree canopy, we reduce usable land from the town. So things cascade, right? You can't solve problems without making more problems in the future. And just having a good idea of what those future problems might be down the road, we can then build and design and develop in ways that mitigate those problems in the future. So being an engineer, that's what I do during my day job. And I hope that I can bring that mindset to the town council. One of my favorite things about Morrisville is the community. It's incredibly diverse community, a large portion of people from around the globe. Immigrants as well as newly established citizens as well.
And living here, what is your favorite thing to do in your free time?
My favorite thing to do is definitely visit the Western Wake Farmers Market. Something as often as my girlfriend and I can, we go and visit that market.
What's your favorite thing to buy there?
Favorite thing to buy? All the wonderful produce, things that you can't find in the grocery store. The funniest looking squashes, rainbow peppers, fresh mushrooms. It's really wonderful. So I just finished up my chapter presidency with the Triangle chapter of the American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers. It's a mouthful, ASHRAE for short. ASHRAE is an organization that seeks to provide a healthy and sustainable built environment for all. Through that organization, I've developed a lot of skills, leadership skills with, hosting forums and events and coordinating with, different stakeholders and educating our community on, the latest technical advancements in the industry. A very interesting topic that we had recently was on the new building code changes. So there's a whole can of worms with that, but we're currently in a code cycle. We're changing. We're going from the 2018 North Carolina building codes to the 2024 North Carolina building codes. With Hurricane Helene, there's some legislation that was passed that essentially pushed the deadline for all new buildings to be built under that code. I have a deep knowledge of a lot of these things and how they affect not only our town-owned buildings, but also the buildings from developers. And I'm looking forward to going to there's a permitting and inspections workshop coming up in a couple of weeks, and I hope to go there and learn more about the town specifically, how that process works. I've seen the other side of it, having projects get permitted, but I want to see what the town, how the town is handling some of these things. that's a tough one for me being a systems thinker. Everything is related. But really, if you can imagine a Venn diagram with the three bubbles being sustainability, transportation, and community. At the center of all of that is walkability. So that's my main focus that I want to try to solve. But how do those, what are the things that come from that? Well, for sustainability and community, right? And with transportation as well. We'll start there. Imagine you're walking down calm tree-lined streets to your cafe or bakery, or get a haircut, get your nails done, and you're passing your neighbors along the way and you're saying hi, right? So that's kind of the vision that I have for Morrisville. There's good examples of that, I would say, in Morrisville, but I think we could do more. If we want to focus on sustainability, for example, right? We want to preserve our tree canopy. We want to support pollinators, right? Plant native plants, native ecosystems, try to retain that, and use wetlands for our stormwater mitigation. If we're talking about just community, it's providing the language access plan. It's communicating to the residents, providing opportunities for them to be engaged and involved. If we want to talk about just transportation, right, we can improve our Morrisville smart shuttle program and make it more reliable, more accessible. But if we think a level higher, right, if we design in such a way that we can prioritize pedestrians, for example, if we focus on sustainability and transportation, right, pedestrian-oriented development, allow trips to be made without the use of a personal vehicle, walking, transit, those sorts of things, right? We've not only mitigated traffic in town, but we've also reduced our carbon footprint, right? Because we're not driving as much. I was recently disappointed with the town's decision not to fund an affordable housing project in partnership with Habitat for Humanity. The town only needed to provide $700,000 to make that project happen. I feel we can do better, and I will advocate for more public nonprofit partnerships to provide affordable housing units in the future. So this is definitely my personal passion. I think the way America has built over the last 70 years has been a bit unsustainable, right? We've designed our communities around car travel. We've made it so that you can't go to your local bakery, cafe, grocery store without using your car. You have to chauffeur your kids around to get them to school and to band and to sports practice and all those things. And I have spent a lot of my time researching why that is and what the solutions are to make our communities more connected. So the big thing that I will advocate for is pedestrian-oriented development. Mixed use, mixed income, multi-generational development to allow trips to be made, the normal everyday trips that need to be made to your barbershop, your nail salon, your cafe, your bakery, things you go to on a regular basis. Make sure that those trips, you can make them without the use of a personal vehicle. Yes, so Morrisville has the Smart Shuttle program. It's an on-demand, node-to-node shuttle system. There are several of these nodes throughout town, and you can request the shuttle on your phone. The trouble with this system is that it's very unreliable and inaccessible to some people. And I believe that it's an inherent in the app itself. Morrisville's very long, and so a trip made in Morrisville, and with the traffic that we have, could take a really long time, upwards of 30 minutes to an hour, to get from one destination to the next destination on this smart shuttle. And that's not even accounting for the amount of time that you have to wait for the shuttle to actually show up. Oftentimes the shuttle, if there's so many people requesting the shuttle service, it locks you out and says, try again another time. For folks that, don't have a car, that rely on this type of transportation to get around, it's horribly inadequate.
So what will you push?
What I believe Morrisville needs is a circulator, a loop-based system. Most of the residents in town, they commute out of town. Workers commute into town. What's left over is a lot of youth and seniors, and people that just want to go out and enjoy their day and shop and whatnot, right? Because we haven't designed our walkable, our town to be walkable, we're having to rely on this smart shuttle. So my solution is to increase investigate transitioning this node-based system on-demand service to a more fixed route service. There's definitely some details that need to be worked out, and it's possible that we can do a hybrid model with on-demand and fixed route. But ultimately, transit, it's a land use problem. If you continue to sprawl, and your town in Morrisville doesn't have that problem anymore because there's no more land to build on, how you develop your town determines how feasible the transit can become. Morrisville is on track to develop a transit-oriented development district just north of here, and we're right now on the McCrimmon corridor, which alongside our new town center are really the only places that we've allocated for density. So this is something that's really, really sad. At the Western Wake Farmers Market, they provide SNAP EBT benefits. A lot of vendors provide that. So, it's a great way to get fresh, local produce, at affordable prices. With the SNAP program going away, what's to happen with that? Some things that we can do in the town, just on our own, is purchase, a little bit of extra food and donate it. There's ways that we can do that. We also have our community garden and education garden, with the bulk of that food that's grown there goes towards Dorcas Ministries, which provides food assistance for low-income people. So the town's responsibility is access and communication. We're fortunate in Morrisville to have the language access plan, which transcribes all of the town documents into 4 different languages. Obviously, English is one that doesn't need to be mentioned, but we also have Hindi and Vietnamese, Chinese, and Spanish. So providing that for our residents is a wonderful way to inform people of what's going on in town, what are the important things to know about, especially when it comes to public safety, when floods or inclement weather comes through. We need to be able to communicate that to the residents. With such a diverse community here, we don't really seem to have that problem of bringing in people. I've met neighbors from all around the world. And of course, my girlfriend, she's from Taiwan, so I'm frequently in communication with a lot of our Asian neighbors, and also 2 of our current town councilors are Indian American. 4 of the councilors, the majority of the councilors, are women, which is really wonderful. My personal goal with this is, you're asking what can the town do, but my personal goal is I really like the idea of a co-governance model where it's not just me and my fellow town councilors making decisions at the town council. Really, I think it's important for people to be a part of that process. The town does a lot of public engagement and seeks feedback on a lot of the town initiatives. At every single town event, there's town staff standing there with a with the poster board. You can put stickers on. The one yesterday at Morrisville. We changed the town from Morrisville to Morrisville for National S'mores Day. Town staff there collecting feedback on some public safety priority. And I was at the town council meeting where they went over that we want to have zero pedestrian, or not just zero pedestrian, but zero transportation-related fatalities in the town. And the question is how do we achieve that? Right. Well, this survey talked about do we take a more holistic approach to reducing risks? Really, do we target specific locations in our high injury network for improvements? Do we focus on education to change some behaviors around vehicle use? And we receive 2 stickers each to put on our priorities, out of 5 priorities. So I always appreciate those opportunities to engage in that way, and of course all the surveys that we have to provide feedback for the town to make decisions. And I also appreciate that the town has increased its communications department from 1 person to 4 people, and sends out regular newsletters to our seniors, to HOA communities, to our local businesses. Right, it's one thing to communicate these things to people, but then to ask them to engage in the process as well is really important.